Some people spend their whole life trying to please other people. What we need to do is live our life to please God. I think the Apostle Paul understood this very, very well. His ministry was questioned a lot. It was questioned by other believers. It was questioned by unbelievers. It was questioned by the Jews. It was questioned by the Romans. He had a lot of people telling him what they thought he ought to do and not do. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, he lays this out in such a beautiful way that we can all learn from. He says, "Let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful." So that's what Paul wants. He says, we are stewards of Christ and we are supposed to be faithful to him. But with me it is a very small thing that I should be judged of you, or of man's judgment. Yea, I judge not mine own self, for I know nothing by myself, yet am I not hereby justified, but he that judgeth me is the Lord. That's what Paul says. Look, he says, I am a minister, a steward, a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ. And it is required in stewards, in all of us as followers of Jesus, that we be found faithful. And he says, it's a really small thing that other people judge my ministry and judge my service for God. He said, here's why. Because the one who's going to judge my service is Jesus himself. He says, I don't really even judge it myself. He says, I am doing what I understand he has called me to do, but I don't sit back and scrutinize all of that on a really big basis. Instead, verse 5, he says, therefore judge nothing before the time, until the Lord come, who both will bring to light the hidden things of darkness and will make manifest the counsels of the hearts, and then shall every man have praise of God. Now earlier he had said this. He said, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it. He says, you can build with on this foundation of Christ with gold, silver, or precious stones, or you can build with wood, hay, and stubble. So in other words, you can build in this life with materials that last, or you can build with materials that don't last. And that's a pretty easy, I think, illustration to understand. You're either building eternal things, therefore being a faithful steward to Christ, or you're building with temporary things, therefore living for the here, for the now, for you, selfishness, for this world. And when Jesus returns, he's going to judge every man's work by fire, and all that temporary stuff's going to burn up, and the eternal stuff's going to be left. And that is what he's talking about in chapter 4. That's going to receive praise from God. And he says, every man shall every man have praise of God. So I just want to encourage you this morning as you think about that. There's two ways you can live your life. You can live your life to try and please other people, or you can live your life to please God. Now, if you live your life to please God, you're going to bear the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, faithfulness, goodness. All of these kind of things are going to come out of your life. You're going to be kind. You're going to be a peaceful person. You're going to be a loving person, which, by the way, is going to be very pleasing to other people. Or you can allow other people to tell you what you're supposed to be doing all the time. And just like it's been said before, you just simply cannot please all the people all the time. As a matter of fact, you got to be really careful with that, because Proverbs chapter 29:25 says, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Live your life to please Jesus. At the end of the day, he's the one that's going to judge the work, and he's the one that's going to give the rewards. So don't over-scrutinize your life. Don't live your life trying to please everybody around. Live your life to please Jesus and trust him with the results. God bless you. Have a great day.